Hey guys, it's Drake with the RPG Construct. Just wanted to do just a short video. We're probably going to make it about 15 minutes. Just go over the rolling and stuff like that for your standard Call of Cthulhu 1920 setting character creation. So the first thing that you're going to need is 3 six-sided dice. Okay, we're just going to do the basic numbers as they go. The first one is going to be strength, and you're going to roll these 3. Ooh, that's terrible. So it's 4. So his strength is only a 24. Next, we're going to do constitution, which is again 3d6. That's going to be 5 and 6. So his constitution is only going to be 30. Next, we're going to do his size. Now his size is only 2d6, but then you add a full 6 to it. So that is going to be a 10 times 5 is 50. Okay. Next, we're going to do dexterity, which is going to be standard 3d6. So that's going to be 5, 9. It's going to be 45. Next is your appearance. This is how physically attractive you are, how charismatic you are. Think of it like charisma in 5th edition. And appearance is going to be 3d6 as well, and then you multiply it by 5. So we have 6, 11, so that's going to be 55. I'm a relatively good-looking guy. That seems fitting. Next, we're going to do education. Now, education is, again, 2d6 plus 6. So that's 9 plus 6 is 15. So my education is going to be 75. Next, we're going to do intelligence. Intelligence, again, 2d6 plus 6. That's 7. Plus 6 is 13. 13 times 5 is going to be 65. Oops. It's going to be 65. And power. This is the force of will. This is, think about it like a wisdom save, so to speak. So your power is 3d6 as well. Oop. And that's going to be 11, 14. So that's going to be 70. So we're pretty good there. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is your luck. And that is going to be important here in this game, but we're going to go through all that here in just a minute. We just kind of want to go through the basic rolls for right now. Now, when you roll luck, it's going to be 3d6 again times 5. It's going to be 13. So my total luck is going to be 65. Okay? Now, the thing that you have to do in this game, it's very important. Your age makes a big difference. So keep in mind that when you pick your age, it will affect what you do. Now I'm thinking this guy is just going to be a standard kind of, police detective sort of a thing. So I'm figuring he's going to be around probably 45 years old. When it comes to this, in the Lore Keeper's book, it says that if you pick between 40 and 49, I have to make 2 improvement checks for education and deduct 5 points from strength, con, or dex and reduce appearance by 5. So basically, I need to reduce my appearance by 5 for sure. And I have to pick strength, con, or dex to be minus 5. As dex is my highest, I'm going to put that there. This guy does not seem very... have much physical prowess. So the next thing we have to do what they call improvement checks. Now improvement checks are very simple. You roll a percentage die, and then you roll a d10 with it to determine what you have between 1 and 100. My education is currently 75, as you can see right here. Okay, so I have to roll below a 75 to succeed in these checks, okay, in these improvement checks. So the first one is 80. I failed it. I'm sorry. That is not 80. That's an 8. I succeeded. I apologize. I read the dice wrong. So that's one successful thing. The next one is going to be an 18, which again is a success. So when you have a success, you take a d10, okay, and you roll it. That time it was a 2. Okay? And that means that my education score goes up by that number anytime you make an improvement check. So that's the first one. It goes up by 2. The second one I succeeded in goes by 1. So I take my education and I now bring it up to a 78. Okay? I hope that's clear. So I am going to go through these half amounts and 1/5 amounts here in a minute. But I'm not forgetting them. Don't worry. Like I said, I'll do a second half of this character creation and we'll be fine. So the next we're going to do is your damage bonus. How big is this guy? How strong is he? If you're doing a melee attack, what is this gonna? How much damage is he gonna do? So what you're gonna do with your damage bonus and your build is take your size plus your strength, and the table here has what it will be. So my size and my strength total is a 74, which means I'm a pretty slight guy. I'm not very big, and I'm certainly not very strong. And the bottom of this, basically any melee hit that I do is a -1. So if I hit somebody with a club or a pipe for 4 damage, it's actually going to go down by 1, as you can see here. All right. So next, after damage bonus, we're going to go with hit points. Now hit points, you add your con and your size, and then you divide them by 10. Okay? So my con and my size are 80. Divide by 10. I only have 8 hit points. So I'm not very hardy. My character is just, he's intelligent, and he's strong-willed, but he just doesn't have the physical prowess. Okay? Now, movement is the next one. Now, this pre-filled in 7. But basically movement, if both your dex and strength are each less than your size, you have a movement of 7. Okay? If either your strength or dex is equal to or greater than size, or if all 3 are equal, your movement's 8. If both strength and dex are greater than your size, then you have a movement of 9. Basically, this guy's the lowest movement that you can have. Okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to get into is probably the most complicated part of doing this creation, which is the occupation. Okay, and my occupation I'm going to put as police detective. Okay, and he's going to be 45. He's going to be male. So just to keep that in. Now, in the book, when it says police detective, you have points that you have to allocate to your investigator for his occupation. Okay? In this particular one, my occupation skill points are education times 2, right? So education times 2 is going to be what? 78 times 2 equals what? 156. And either dex times 2 or strength times 2. My dex is higher, so that adds 80 to it. So I have, let's see, 236 points, okay, that I have to allocate to specific occupational skills. Now, as a police detective, I can put them, I do disguise, firearms, law, listen, one interpersonal skill like charm or fast talk or intimidate, psychology, spot hidden, and any one other skill. So I don't need to put them in all of those things, but I do need to find some, use my points somewhere. Okay, so the first thing, as they said, excuse me, was disguise. Now here, next to disguise, it says 5%. I'm going to allocate 30 points to that. 30 of these 236. But you also add this 5%. So that's actually going to be 35. Okay? So then that's going to be 206 left. Next after that, we have firearms. Well, this guy has to be great at firearms, right? I'm going to put 50 to firearms, plus that 20% is going to be 70. Okay? So that's 156 left. I don't know about the rifles and stuff yet. I just like the handguns as a detective. Law, obviously he has to be really good in law. So let's do 40 there, which would make it 45. All right. Listen, if he's a good detective, we got to put another 40 in that. So that's going to be down to 76 after that. Listen, 60, 40 plus 20. Okay. Next, we're at one interpersonal skill like Charm, Fast Talk, Intimidate. I gotta go with Intimidate. I think that as a detective, you would need to kind of talk tough and do all that. So I say we'll go 40 there and put his Intimidate to 55. So we have 21 points left. I think I'm gonna go with Psychology. Is gonna have 10. Well, actually, it's gonna be 20 because it's 10. Oopsie, sorry. And finally, I'm going to do Spot Hidden with the other 11. So Spot Hidden, again, adds 25. So 11 plus 25 is going to be 36. Okay? Now, those are just your occupational skills. All right? These are things that you choose to kind of make your character have certain characteristics. All right? The next part is your personal interest skills. These are things that you are just into that make your character, again, more like you. You can be anything that you want. And in doing that, you get those points by your intelligence times 2. So for us, that's 65 times 2, or 130 points. Now, I think he's going to have a little bit in the rifles and shotguns. So I say, let's put 30 in that, plus the 25, he'll have a 55. I think that as a detective, you know, I think he'd be good at persuading. So I put 30 there, correct? Yeah. So we have 100 left. Persuading, let's give him 20. We'll make that a 30. I think he would know about the occult as well. We'll throw another 20 there, especially in this particular thing. Charming? Sure. I think he could do Charming. Let's do 30 on that. Let's see. So we have 30 points left. What do you think? Tracking, maybe? Psychoanalysis? I'm not really sure. I think tracking would probably work really well. So we'll do 20 plus 10 is going to be 30. And we have 10 more. Let's do, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's a locksmith. We'll have him do 11. So your interpersonal skills plus your occupational skills have been filled in. Okay? So these are what are going to make your character your character. All right? We're going to get into combat and a bunch of other stuff here in the next video. This is just part 1 of character creation. We are making a 45-year-old male police detective who seems very educated, very intelligent, but kind of slight and not really able to, you know, really do those things physically. He doesn't have a lot of hit points, but he seems to be pretty lucky. And he has your typical skills that you would expect from a cop, from a detective, questioning, firearms skills, you know, the ability to track people, you know, persuade people, understand psychology. So that is what's making this character him right now. So this is just part 1 of character creation, guys. I know it seems a little bit in-depth, but as soon as you roll 1 or 2, it's no big deal. And I'm going to promise in the next part, I'm going to explain what these little half values and 1/5 values are. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'm just going to keep rolling out with these how-to Call of Cthulhu 7th edition videos. Hope you all like it, and I will put out the second half shortly.